Hey, this is possibly going to be my last review for Saturday's tournament, which will be a warm-up tournament. It's not very formal. There are no we're not going to do a lot of competitive tournament stuff around that tournament. It's just a few guys meeting up at the club. We're going to be 14 people, and this list review is for Philippe Simpson's Soviets. Philippe calls himself a historical player, and I've played against Philippe, and he is definitely a tough matchup. So he may be a historical buff and a casual player, but he knows what he's doing. He definitely does, and we can see that in his list build as well. So it's a 14 order dice Soviet list. 14 order dice is always the golden zone, right? I really like that. He starts out with junior lieutenant. Inexperience, the cheapest one. Not competitive. I disagree. That is very competitive. But he does have some choices that are maybe surprising and not very meta right now. And they come here because he has two naval squads. Naval squads. They're really nice. I really like them. They are veterans. They have tough fighter. And he has equipped a lot of them with SMGs. So these are like Death Star type units, 8-man veteran squads with tough fighter. I would hesitate to approach that with anything short of a full squad of dedicated close combat fighters, or maybe some flamethrowers. They are deadly. They pump out a lot of shots. They can really fight in close combat, and they are tough as nails as veteran. So these are really, really good units. They may not be the most meta thing right now, but since the latest FAQ, I actually think that this is a good way to go. Then he has an artillery observer, which is always a bit strange to see people actually paying points for that, but maybe that's because I play British usually, so I usually just get that for free. And people paying 100 points for an artillery observer always seems like a bit overkill because it's one shot. But I tell you right now, that artillery observer has saved my bacon time and time again. So I think that maybe they're actually worth their points. Finally, he has two rifle squads. One of them is the free rifle squad the Soviets get. Green, equipped with anti-tank grenades, 12 men, all of that jazz. And then one rifle squad of 9 men, also green, inexperienced. These are really good backline holders. They have a size where they are difficult to get rid of for the enemy. And still pretty dangerous. But since they're inexperienced, they don't need to move out. If they turn into regulars because of their green, you can push them up, but you don't need to. Then a medium mortar, and this is an interesting thing that's been popping up in the Danish meta since, well, I guess since this autumn, where we sort of lured this idea out of some Spanish players, and that is going inexperience with your artillery, because Philippe has picked up an inexperienced medium mortar. Now, the medium mortar has always been a staple in Denmark, but most people buy them regular and with spotter. But if you're just going to shoot indirectly all the time, then the only thing that you need to worry about are darker stewards moving up and dedicating all their shots to killing that one medium mortar, or snipers. And since Philippe also has a sniper, he shouldn't be that worried about snipers, at least to start with. So an inexperienced mortar is actually a good idea. Place it in hard cover somewhere, and don't be afraid to go down, and then just start shooting indirectly at something that is pretty immobile in the enemy's army. That works just as well as a regular mortar. Then he adds an anti-tank rifle team. They are surprisingly good, especially against transports. Which, if you watched Emil's list review, you know that there are people bringing quite a lot of transports. So that also works. And then Philip has bought a medium howitzer, and this one I would have changed into an inexperienced. He's bought it regular, and that is, of course, so he can shoot directly. But since you're not using a spotter, I think you should have saved points somewhere, maybe got yourself a spotter, or maybe just cut it down to inexperienced. I would have done that. But your calculation may be different from mine, anyways. Um, it would have been a place to save some points, I guess. But I do understand the idea of being able to shoot directly and not getting that -1. A BA-10, two LMGs, love it, love it, love it, love it. The two LMGs, you can shoot two units at the same time, right? Giving two pins instead of one. I really like that. Recce or the Jazz. The BA-10 is a really good and pretty cheap little armored car. A Stuart light tank, again, because this is a tournament style thing. He's going up against hard players. Of course, he's bringing a Stuart, Dagger Stuart, with all the LMGs and all that. Yes. And then a truck and a half-track truck. Both of them have pintle-mounted MMGs, which I really like. And I am guessing that one of them may be carrying the two naval squads. They can fit, can't they? Just no, they can't. They can fit in one each. The size of your trucks, Philip. You have 12-man trucks, so you have room extra, which I'm looking forward to seeing what you'll deal with. Are you going to put your inexperienced free squad in one of them? Maybe. That could be an interesting thought. You can also use your anti-tank rifle team in one of them, along with the naval squads. That might also be an interesting thought. I'm looking forward to seeing how you're going to use those. And I look forward to seeing you Saturday. Cheers.